Megan's Followers, A Spirit Guide, a Ghost Tiger, and One Scary Mother, Volume 5, written by Owen Jones, narrated by Kim Summers, published by TekTime. Chapter 1, The Surprise. It was Saturday morning on a bank holiday weekend, and Megan awoke from a dream in which she had been to the beach with her grandfather, her mother's father, who had died before she was born, but whom she had always seen quite often for a dead person. They had traveled to a beach that he had shown her before in the first lesson that she had ever had on flying or astral traveling, as they called it. She loved the sensation of freedom that it gave her, and she was pleased that she was now capable of remembering where she had been and with whom, if she hadn't gone alone. That ability to remember was a fairly recent development, which she had been told to expect as she got used to performing her new trick, as she still thought of it, despite having been told several times that it was something quite normal that everyone could and indeed did do regularly. The trick, if there was one, was to remember where one had been and what one had done. Megan was not the sort of person to lie in, especially when the sun was streaming in through the open curtains, so she got up, put on her dressing gown and slippers, and went downstairs, following the glorious smell of frying bacon. She had been told in school in one of her lessons about the dangers of eating too much meat and cholesterol, but a traditional breakfast of cornflakes, followed by bacon and eggs, toast, and tea, was still her favorite meal of the day. She liked the smell of coffee, but she was not allowed to drink that until she was 16, because her mother had some idea that it could hurt a young person. She wasn't sure whether that was true, and she didn't really believe that meat could harm her either, especially not when you were a growing, active young teenager. Adults had some very strange ideas, she thought sometimes. Hadn't people eaten these things for centuries? It was obvious to Megan that it was not the cholesterol that was killing people, but the lack of exercise, but she didn't like to say anything. Working behind a desk was hardly the same as working behind a plow. She thought that that was pretty obvious. She opened the door to the living room and saw what she expected. Her father reading the paper at the table with his breakfast in front of him, and her mother in the kitchen busying herself with cooking and cleaning. "Good morning, Dad," she greeted him, and "Good morning, ma'am," a little louder, so that she might be heard over the sound of water running from the tap. "Morning, Megan. Sleep well?" It was his standard greeting when he was reading the paper, which he lowered to below his line of sight, just long enough to catch Megan's eyes and nod in her direction. "Yes, I'm fine, Dad, and you?" She didn't stop to wait for his reply, but continued into the kitchen. "Good morning, ma'am," she repeated. "Do you want your breakfast now or later, darling?" "I'll have it now, please. But why don't I wait for you and we can eat together? I'll make us a cup of tea." "Yes, okay, as you please. Ask your dad if he wants a top-up too, dear. There's a good girl." Megan did as she was bid and carried the 3 cups of tea to the table and awaited her breakfast. "Anything happening in the world that a teenage girl should know about, Dad?" "Pardon?" She repeated her question, and he knew she was only being playful to annoy him. "The dollar's up against the pound, but the euro is down. The government is thinking of changing the law to make it compulsory to stay in school until 21, to cut unemployment figures," he joked back without looking at her. "The usual thing, you know." "Why haven't we got any politicians in our family, Dad? I mean, there never have been any, have there?" "No, not in our family. Too busy working. You need money to be a politician. That's why a lot of them are solicitors or from public school. They've either got a good job or their parents have or had." "But you've got a good job, haven't you, Daddy? Does that mean that I could go into politics if I wanted to?" I haven't got a bad job, but you would need a good job too if you wanted to become a national politician. I don't earn that much more than normal." He folded the paper neatly and put it down, realizing that he was not going to be left in peace to finish it at the breakfast table. "Why, what's this all about? You want to be the next Maggie Thatcher or Hillary Clinton, do you?" "Perhaps, well, I don't know. I've never thought about it before, but why not?" "There is no reason why not, dear, except money, education, backers, and a burning ambition to succeed, that's all. I'm sure you could do it if you wanted."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?